Hey guys.
Hi guys, welcome back.
I'm Jess.
I'm Gianna.
Welcome to Thick Thighs Save Lives. So we put on our Instagram a little poll asking what you guys wanted to hear from us. And it was kind of a landslide that y'all wanted to hear work horror stories.
Work horror stories. Everybody wants to hear about the tea.
Yeah, because,
There's a lot.
And it's kind of recent that most of it happened. So we're going to get into that today.
Yes.
So let's start off with how old you were when you got your first job.
I think I was probably 17 when I got my first job. I was just like a cashier at this place, but I was probably there for like 3 months.
Did you like it?
No. Like, it was fine. It was a first job, but I was just excited to be making some money, get my little employee discount over there. But I knew I wasn't going to be there forever because it just wasn't the vibe for me.
Yeah, no.
How about you? How old were you?
I got my first job the day after I turned 16.
Ooh.
Because my parents said, if you want to drive, you need to fill your gas tank. And I was not about to be that person that doesn't drive.
Right.
I had to get on the road.
Did you hate the job?
No.
It was fine.
I loved the job, and I probably would have stayed there. I was there for about 2 years, almost 2 years.
Oh my God, your first job?
My
2
first
years?
job. And the
Wow.
only reason I left was because they were getting foreclosed on.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it closed.
Oh my gosh.
I probably would have stayed there throughout college and went back on breaks and stuff because I loved it.
Wow. The first job that I spent over 2 years at went on strike. They were on strike for a while.
Oh my God, I remember that.
So towards the end of me working there, like, they were on strike, and I was like standing out on the streets holding up big signs. I'm like 18 years old at the time, holding signs on the street. And we're like yelling at people that are going inside of this establishment. We were like, I couldn't believe that was
You're like death to them all.
I was like, oh my God.
Actually, my first job, I think part of the reason I loved it so much is me and my sister worked there together.
Oh, that must have been fun.
We worked at 3 separate jobs together. We
my
still
God.
work together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys do.
I would go on the phone and like over the loudspeaker and be like, Sissy.
To the front.
Sissy to the front. Come play.
I feel like if me and my sister work together, like, she would be like, can you take my shift tomorrow? Like, no, I have plans.
Well, they started to put us on different shifts and we had to talk to our manager and be like, we share a car.
Yeah, like,
So one person's not leaving when another comes in. Either we work the same shift or we don't work.
Right.
Oh my God, can I tell you a crazy story about the first job I had?
What?
I
have plenty.
It was pretty early in me working there. And me and my sister were working there together, and somebody came in and was stealing a bunch of Levi's jeans, which are expensive. Me and my sister were leaving our shift. It was like a midday shift, so we were leaving, and we saw this person shoving a bunch of Levi's pants into their bag. So we went to the back to clock out, and we told our manager, we were like, somebody's stealing. And we described the guy, and she called the police. So then me and my sister clock out, and we go outside, and the police are there. He's like, can you describe the person for me? So me and my sister are describing this man for the cops.
Yeah.
And the man walks out of the store. And the cop fully points at the man and goes, is that him?
Oh,
Me and my sister were like, yep.
Like, now this man is going to know that you guys are ratting on him.
When I tell you, we ran to our car and booked it home.
I would be scared.
We were terrified.
I would be scared he was going to find me somehow.
Like, what possessed the police officer to... Is that him?
No.
Like, what?
No, I'd be scared.
Oh my God, I was terrified.
I'd be like actually worried for my safety. I'd be like,
and my
this guy's
sister-
going to find me.
We went the long way home.
He's going to follow me home somehow. People like they don't care.
They don't care. And that's
they do
the
it
thing,
in like plain sight too.
I recently worked a retail job. Never again, might I add. And
No, me neither.
during my training, they literally teach you, they're like, don't interact, don't talk to, don't acknowledge, like, because the stores are learning that, like, if they hit you or pull out a gun or a knife or anything like that, the store's liable.
Yeah.
So they're like, let them steal. And then the cops will catch them. Okay.
Yeah, you're like not allowed to approach them in any way.
Which is fine, because what is little old me gonna do?
Like, what are we gonna do? Fight them off?
Like, I'd be like, enjoy your products.
Be like,
Have a great day.
go ahead.
Oh my God. Speaking of theft,
Oh,
I worked retail, so I have a million theft stories.
yeah. Me too.
And my second job that I worked at, I was there for a long time too. Mm-hmm. It was another retail job, and I worked the cash register again. People would always come and steal from the men's department, which was right next to the cashiers. So one day I was working the cashier, and we had our little headsets, and I was like, somebody's stealing. I was 17 at the time, or 18.
No.
And my boss goes, okay, Jess, go customer service them.
What does that
What?
mean?
They want me to go be like, oh, do you need any help with anything? Can I help you find this or that? Me? Go customer service? A thief?
A thief.
A thief.
No.
No.
No, you can put somebody
sorry,
else
no.
on that job.
What is a thief gonna think when 5'1", 17-year-old me walks up to them and it's like, can I get you anything? Like, it's a joke.
Yeah, really.
I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I'm not a security guard.
This
like,
is not in your job description.
no. Disclaimer, we have the window open because it's a little toasty in here.
Yeah.
So if the lighting changes a little bit, that's why. But yeah, it was like mind-blowing that they would want everyday employee. This was back in 2019. No. 2018.
You know
So
what?
things were a little different.
Yeah, it was. I also worked in a grocery store around like COVID time, and I feel like honestly theft was on the rise during COVID time. Like people were desperate.
going to the grocery store like
The
world was ending.
Really. And when I worked there, like that was the year that I left that place because
I don't blame you.
It was way too much to work in a grocery store during COVID time. Like if you know, you know. It was bad.
I can
It was
only
bad.
people were camping out for some toilet paper.
And people were like, they were limiting the amount of people that could come inside the store. Like one day they wanted me to stand at the door with an iPad, and every person that walked in, there was like this number generator on the iPad. It would be like +1, +1, +1. You had to keep adding every person that walked in the store. But besides the point, like theft during that time was insane. People were coming in and filling 3 carts worth of seafood and just walking out the door at 10 o'clock at night. It was so crazy. It was a crazy time.
Working during COVID,
No.
no.
Too much.
It was
Mentally, like way too much. People were psychotic. Everyone was like fighting in the grocery store. Like if there was one package of toilet paper left, people were literally fighting over it.
I feel like people were eating toilet paper during that time.
Like,
Where did it all go?
That whole toilet paper situation, it was like you had a limit of 1.
Yeah, so stupid.
Crazy.
So I want to hear about your worst job. What you would say your worst job is.
My worst job was the job that I got after I left the grocery store.
What kind of business was it?
It was retail.
Okay.
And it was like in the prime of COVID. Like I left that place and just went into another job. This place, like my job title was cashier. And they would have me in like all these other departments and asking me to go clean the bathroom and stuff.
No.
And I'm like, do I look like your store porter?
What is that?
The person that cleans the toilets.
The janitor?
The porter.
I've never heard that word before in my entire life.
Oh my God. Well, they were literally asking me to do things that were not listed in my job title.
Yeah, no.
And me at the time, I was like literally 19, 20 years old. What do I look like going to scrub a toilet?
Yeah. But also you feel so awkward because you're like, can I say no?
Yeah.
Bosses just make you so uncomfortable, dude.
They're terrible.
Like, one time I was working this retail job, the one where they would have me go customer service the thefts. And
like that was your first red flag. You know there's going to be more after that.
And there was this manager there. She was miserable.
Like every job has that one manager. They're never happy.
Never.
And it's like, why are you, if you don't like working here, leave.
So this story made my day because it was with the worst manager. So one of the guys working on the floor found a bin that you like put dog food in or something. Mm-hmm. And it was heavy. Like, there was something in it. Like, liquid. So he brings it up to the front, and he's like, to be completely honest, I'm scared to open this. So
I can only imagine where the story's
I'm just
going
going to leave
right
it
now.
here. So me and my coworkers are like, what could possibly be in there? We don't look, because, ew. So we call up the manager, and we're like, we have a damaged item. Like, can you come damage it out? And she comes up, and she opens it, and somebody threw up in this carrier of dog food. Absolutely the most rancid smell I've ever smelled in my life. I wanted to die. But
I would throw up on site. I would throw up, right, if I saw that.
I asked, I was like, can we just have somebody bring that to the dumpster? And she was like, no, that's not protocol. We have to clean it out.
Clean it out.
And
resell it?
I have no idea if they resold it, but...
What?
So we were like, clean it out.
Ew,
like,
the smell must have been horrid.
yeah, right.
Oh.
So this woman goes in the back, and she comes back, and we're like, what now? Like, what does she want from us? She comes back with gloves.
Don't tell me she asked you guys to clean it out.
Oh, fully asked us to clean it out. Fully asked us to clean it out.
I would have been like...
I looked her dead in her face, and I said, ew, no, not doing
I would
that.
have been like, can you give me my resignation paperwork right now?
I was like, are you
Please.
crazy?
I'm out of here.
So this woman that everybody hated had to clean out a vomit-filled bucket.
Oh, no.
And it made my day. She was doing it. She was gagging. It was disgusting. I don't blame her for her reaction. But it happening to the best person.
I'm sorry, but better her than you.
Also, no, what is wrong with people? Why are you going into the store and vomiting in something and then leaving it?
Putting it back on the shelf.
Like,
are you crazy?
We dealt with the most nasty people at the job we worked together, hygiene-wise and attitude-wise.
Personally, like, some of the attitudes that walked through that door, I was like, I don't want to service you now.
Turn yourself around.
Get out of here.
And check yourself at the door.
I had to deal with nasty attitudes at my previous job, the one that I was at for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Like, working in a grocery store, people are mean.
Yeah.
People talk to you like you're not a human being, too.
No, literally.
And you would always, like, be like, oh, I'm not going to let them get to me. These people were nasty.
I've had people make me cry before.
Before we get on to the next topic, when I worked at the grocery store during COVID, when they had that glass up, there was this man who, I was working at the customer service desk at the time, and he was like, I don't know what he needed, but he needed something from me or from the manager. And you have to, like, pick up the phone and call the manager in their office and be like, this person needs help on this aisle, whatever they need. And I did that for this man when he asked me to.
So you were doing everything this man had asked you to do.
Everything that he asked me to do. And so whatever happens after that, that's on the manager. Like, I'm helping another customer now. I can't help you anymore. Like, and there was also a very long line. So this man got so mad that he was waiting for the manager for, like, under 2 minutes. Like, it's not like 25 minutes went by. Literally under 2 minutes. And he cuts the whole line, comes up to where the glass is, and he starts pounding his fist on it. And he's like, if you don't get me help right now, like, screaming at me.
What is he going to do?
I looked at him and I said, I'm not helping you now, so you can figure it out yourself. I was like, this man is crazy.
Yeah.
Truthfully crazy. So I said, nope, I'm not helping you now. I turned around and I went in the break room until he was gone. I said, I ain't going out there if he's going to act that way.
Yeah, no.
A grown man.
People don't know how to act with customer service people. And it's funny that they're like, oh, you have such an attitude when you give it back to them.
But you know what's the problem with that is that when managers see people acting like that, they'll just give them something for free.
Yeah.
If they're, like, upset about something and they're acting that way, they should be kicked out of the store. 100%. They should not be allowed back in for that day.
100%.
And my managers at the time would not ever put their workers first.
Never.
They would bow down to the customers. And, like, in certain scenarios, I understand that because the saying is, customer's always right. We got to make the customer happy first. But if you see one of your employees, like, in distress in the break room over this customer, get them out of the store immediately. Don't give them something for free.
No.
That's what they want. They throw a tantrum so that they can get something
absolutely
free out of it. It's terrible.
And it works. That's why they keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. It's like, who am I to go into a store and make your day worse?
Like, demand something from
like
you.
That's something that irked my nerves so bad about working in customer service and retail especially. Like, the job I work now, if somebody came in this place I work now and disrespected me, my manager, like, would be ready to throw hands. Like, he's that kind of guy.
And that's honestly how it should be.
That's how it should be. When I would work retail, they would, like, sit me down after an angry customer left and be like, what could you have done better in this situation? And I'm like, I could have spit in their face because they're disrespectful. And that's how I felt I was being treated.
You're always supposed, if you, like, feel uncomfortable in a situation, like, you're told, walk away from the situation. So if I don't care if I'm at work, if I'm being paid, if I'm on the clock, if someone is not treating me right and, like, acting like a fool like that in front of me, you're not my problem anymore. I'm walking away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can figure out what you need with somebody else. Go give a man that attitude, sir.
Because, like, I'm here for the next 5 hours and I'm not letting you ruin all 5 of those hours. I'm the type of person, I'm going to approach you the first time. Like, if you come up to me and ask for help, I'm going to approach you with a smile on my face, like, with the best attitude. Like, perfect example. Yesterday I was at work. And this customer came in and wanted to sit down with the sales rep. And all of the sales reps were currently with appointments. I went to my manager. I let my manager know that these people were waiting for, to speak with someone. And everybody, all the sales rep, my manager, they were like, oh, they're back. Like, when I tell you, I chatted it up with this woman for 30 minutes while she waited for a sales rep to be available. I was just killing her with kindness, and she didn't really know what to do. Like, she kind of came in with an attitude like, oh, why is there nobody here to help me?
I love that.
And I was like, oh my God, I love your scarf. Where did you get that?
Killing people with kindness is the best feeling for you because you're like, wow.
And then I know how to react.
You're like, I rose above and didn't come down to their attitude.
It ended
be like them.
It ended with her giving me a compliment to my boss. And then she left and everybody was like, wow, you did that.
You probably, like, just changed your whole experience at that place.
No, absolutely. And that's, like, the way customers act and the way employees act. Like, if there's a rude employee somewhere, I'm not going back. And, like, if a rude customer comes into where I work, I don't want to deal with them.
Being on the other end and being the customer and going into a place and having a bad experience, like, I would never react the way some people act, but some of these people sometimes are not the nicest.
No.
You kind of just have to, like, accept it and move on. Like,
you have to know your audience.
Yeah, like, don't spend all this time arguing with this person. Like, what is that going to get you?
And I also feel like being in the sales industry and, like, working retail and stuff like that, like, I go into stores peaceful, calm. Like, if I have an issue, I'm going up with a smile on my face. I'll be like, I'm so sorry. I broke this. Or, like
I'm the inconvenience.
Yes, like, I am so sorry. I have to do this to you right now. But, like, can I return this item?
Yeah.
I'm sorry it didn't fit me.
Yeah, like
I never want to be the reason somebody's day is ruined.
Yeah, same.
And I feel like people go into retail stores, like, with that on their mind. Like, I'm going to ruin this person's day. Over what? A pair of socks? Relax.
You know what, though? I feel like now that I'm no longer working in those environments, I work for myself. I provide services for people. People are coming to me for something. Like, they're coming to me for a service. I have to greet them with the utmost respect at all times. And I do feel like now working in this environment versus a store or, like, retail, I don't have those bad experiences anymore. Like, I really don't have any bad experiences with clients.
Well, the services you do now, I feel like people are nice to you. So, for those of you who don't know, Gianna owns her own suite. She waxes people here. Yeah. I feel like I would never go into my wax and be like,
no,
oh, what up? Like, with an attitude. Because, hello, you're ripping the hair out of my body.
Right. People are like,
you could hurt me.
Yeah.
But that's funny because when we worked at our job together, like, I feel like people never complained.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel it was just...
They wouldn't complain to you.
Yeah.
They would come and complain to me, who was the receptionist. So I wasn't doing any services or anything. I was simply answering the phone, booking appointments. They would come up to me and be like, I had a bad experience. I'm like, I'm so sorry, girl. Like, write a review. I don't know how to help you. But people definitely are way more polite and nice in the service industry rather than the sales industry.
Yes.
Because you need something from them.
Yeah.
Like, even when I go get my nails done, I'm like, how are you? Like, do
like,
a good design
nice
today.
You never really see any, like, arguments happening or, like, going back and forth. It's kind of just you're in, you're out.
I feel like with services, like, people like me, I'm, like, nervous to complain.
Yeah.
So, like, I could get my nails done and pick a color I absolutely hate.
Won't say a word.
Won't say a word. Never will I be like, oh, can we change the color? Like,
if the length is too long, too short, I'm like, this is how it's going to be for the next 3 weeks. I don't care.
I will never complain.
Never.
Like, if I came to you and you waxed off my eyebrow, I'd be like, I love it. Fantastic.
Oh, my God.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my God.
Literally one time, Gianna did my eyelashes.
Oh, my God.
Gianna did my lashes and was using a new glue. I was allergic to this glue. We didn't know this at the time. And my eyes were burning.
This woman did not open her mouth and say, it's burning.
I didn't say a word. And then she takes off the tape and my lashes are done. And she's like, why are your eyes so red? And I was like,
it's been burning the whole time.
The whole time. And then I texted her the next morning a picture of my eyes and they were bright red. She was like, Jessica, you have to tell me if it's burning you. And I was like, no, they're perfect. Thank you. That's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, not mine.
Gianna was traumatized. She was like, I'm never doing lashes.
I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore.
So as somebody who's worked for somebody else, worked for different companies and different establishments, I want to know the difference between working for somebody else and working for yourself, because you're Miss Boss Lady. You're your own boss.
Yeah. I work for myself, and there's obviously, like, if you're able to work for yourself, it's like the biggest blessing. Like, I have nothing bad to say about it, but there are pros and cons to it. Like, obviously, working for myself, I can make my own schedule, come and go as I please. Like, I don't have to answer to anybody besides my clients. But, like, I don't have to answer to a manager, a boss. Like, I'm just it.
But that could probably be a lot.
It's a lot, because when you're your own boss, you're your own everything. You have to take care of all your money, all your taxes, all your inventory. Like, everything falls on you. So it's a lot. It really is a lot. Versus working for somebody else, they take care of that all behind the scenes. You don't gotta. You just show up. You just show up, and you can't call out. Yeah.
You can't be like, I'm not in the mood today.
You know what, though? If I have no clients booked or anything, I'm like, all right, day off today.
Yeah.
But then it's like, income-wise, you rely on your working days, because that's it. You don't have anything else.
So since you've been your own boss, would you go back working for somebody else?
I don't think so. No.
I'd love that. Can you hire me?
Yeah. You're hired.
Thank you. I've never worked for myself. I would love that, but I don't have many talents, so don't really know what I do. But I feel like I've learned throughout my years working that, like, you seem so happy working for yourself. I've had jobs that have made me absolutely miserable, but also so happy. I've learned that, like, if a job isn't adding to my life and, like, you don't make friends at this job, whatever, leave.
Absolutely.
Get out of there.
My dad, like, always gave me this advice. He was like, if you leave a job, don't ever, like, backtrack yourself. Always go to something that's better.
Yeah.
Like, elevate in some way. And I've always thought about that when it comes to working and jobs. So now that I'm, like, very independent and I have my own place, I feel like if I do decide to go, like, I feel like it would be going backwards for me to just go work for somebody else again. If I were to go to school or something and get a new degree, that's a different story. But, like, going and just, like, working retail
No.
right now isn't.
I completely get what you're saying.
isn't
And
my
I feel
thing.
like with me, I feel like if I were to go back to retail, I'm backtracking.
Yeah.
Because, like, the jobs I have now, they're still in customer service, but they're not
Probably
retail.
making more money where you are
I'm
now.
making more money. I'm less miserable. And actually, my newest job, I have the opportunity to work up a ladder.
Yeah.
And, like, once I graduate, I can become a full-time employee of this place.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And I would love that because I literally love every single person there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like next steps for you, like, if you wanted to elevate your experience of, like, working for yourself and owning your own business,
It would
I feel
be
like
opening a storefront.
opening a storefront or collaborating with somebody else.
Yeah. Opening a place where I can hire people
Yes.
to work with me.
I volunteer
like a
as
big,
tribute.
like a salon suite or
I
something.
volunteer as tribute.
You could be the receptionist.
I'm so good at being a receptionist.
Oh my God. That would be like, you know, a couple years down the line, if I ever wanted to like move up in that way, that would be the way to do it. And that's the way a lot of like independent
Yeah.
service providers do it.
And you're kind of blessed because no matter what happens, like even during COVID, people wanted the services you provide.
Yeah.
Like once you start waxing, you don't want to shave.
There's always like a need for it, really.
100%. I will never ever sit there and pluck out my eyebrows hairs.
Yeah.
You will be waxing them until I die. Actually, when I die, in my casket, you need to wax my eyebrows before I'm seen.
If I'm not dead before you.
You can't die before me. You have to do my eyebrows.
I feel like there's no like cap to like how many clients you can have, how many services you can provide. Like there's always a way to expand it somehow. Like right now, I'm trying to find new things that I can offer here.
So you put on your Instagram, your business Instagram, that you want to bring back facials.
Yes, because I feel like there's just so many, as an esthetician, there's just so much you can do. And I feel right now I'm limiting myself to like just strictly waxing, some lashes here and there. But I want to be like one-stop shop.
Absolutely.
Come, whatever you need, I got it. Like we're here. I would love to just add like a bunch of things in here.
I just had an epiphany.
What?
You need to learn how to spray tan.
You just gave me Wendy Williams eyes. That was so creepy. And if I show you my TikTok right now, last night I was looking at spray tan on TikTok. Literally.
You need to learn how to spray tan. I don't care if you make me orange.
Jessica, I was laying in my bed last night. I could not fall asleep. I'm sitting there thinking, and I was like, spray tan.
Spray tan.
I could put it right in this corner right here.
Yes. I'm looking.
You're like, she's in my brain.
I'm
This is
picturing
weird.
you spray tanning 10.
Right here.
Yes.
This is exactly
Against
what
the
I
black
envisioned.
wall so you don't see it.
Oh
Yes.
my God. You're me.
You're me.
So weird. I swear to God, I'll show you my TikTok after.
That is crazy. I told you all, but we're twins.
Really?
It's a little freaky.
It is. That was so funny. You really gave me Wendy Williams eyes.
I had a vision.
That's scary. All right, so moving on to you. What's like the worst thing that's ever happened to you? A job before?
I got fired.
You got fired.
I've gotten fired from one job and one job only in my life.
Yeah, and if I can just put my little comment in there, like, you should not have gotten fired.
Wrongful termination.
Wrongful termination. 100%.
But Connecticut's an at-will state, so
Yep.
they can fire me for breathing too heavy if they wanted to.
So the employees lose always.
Always. So
Tell us that story. Tell us, why did you get fired?
So I worked at this place for a year and a half. I met my soulmate there. And when I tell you, I loved this job. This job made me so happy.
It was fun.
It was fun. COVID hit. Everybody got COVID. We had COVID at the same time. Everybody got COVID. And then I was switching medications. And for those of you who don't know, switching medications can mess with you. You don't feel good when you switch medications. And let me bring it back really quick. I was a receptionist at this job. Let's say something came up, like I had to get home immediately. I could call the receptionist coming in after me, and she would come in early, and I would leave. Like
you weren't ever like really screwing them over in any way.
Never. And these conversations never happened with management. Like you would talk with your fellow employees and figure out coverage and stuff like that. Like if I needed a day off, I would tell the other receptionist and be like, I need this day off, cover me.
Mind you, if you ever asked for coverage, if you ever asked like a manager for coverage, they would tell you, just go ask someone else. Yep. Figure it out yourself.
So I was switching medications and I really wasn't feeling good. I stayed to my shift. I left an hour early. And I asked the girl coming in after me, I was like, can you please come early? And I was down bad. I did not feel good. I felt worse switching medications than I did when I had COVID. Like, my head was all foggy. I was, like, nervous to drive home. And she texted me. She was like, I'm 2 minutes away. So I left. There was other people at the place of work that could easily answer the phone if it rang. And those 2 minutes where there was no receptionist, the manager walked in. This was the only reason I ever gave her to put me on probation or to have a meeting with me, talk about me, anything. If anybody ever called out, they would call me because they knew I lived 2 minutes away. And it'd be like, can you be here in 5 minutes? Yes, absolutely, on my way. I did everything for this job. I worked Christmas Eve. I worked holidays. I worked all the time. I was there constantly.
With no extra payment.
There would be times that I would be working as a receptionist and there were no service providers there. So people would come in wanting services and I'd be like, can you come back in like an hour? There's nobody here to perform these services. Why was I there? Don't know. So this just added fuel to her fire and she used this as her excuse to fire me. And it's funny because when she called me to fire me, she said I was talking shit about this person. I was doing this. I wasn't cleaning enough. Like, I left a mess. Which is funny because I'm the only person that cleaned the bathroom.
Like, right. If someone gets fired, there's always, like, a few warnings or something in advance. Like, they'll tell you if this happens again. Like strike one. Yeah. You didn't get none of that.
Nothing.
And there were people in the past who got that. And people after you who got that, but you didn't get that.
Nothing.
Made no sense.
And
it's always the employees who do the most that always can get shit on at the end.
No, literally. And I called Gianna before I spoke to my boss. I was like, she's gonna fire me. And Gianna was like, no, she's not. Like, what are you talking about? You did nothing wrong. Like, you left 5 minutes early from your shift ending. Like, relax. And then I called Gianna back an hour later and I crying. I was like, she fired me.
When I tell you guys that when she told me this, my heart sunk because I was like, what am I gonna do now?
Because you had a situation at the same job.
So guys, me being fully independent at my place here was like what I wanted to be doing, but it wasn't my choice in this timing to be here fully like independent, only relying on this like to pay my bills, because I got laid off from the same establishment because this place ended up closing their doors,
which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Things happen behind the scenes. We don't know.
Absolutely. Places close all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing with this one is they gave their employees 2 days notice.
This job that we all had, like, this was our careers.
Yeah.
We went to school to learn how to do these things, and people like really relied on this place.
It was a tight-knit place to work in the sense that, like, you made friends with your employees, like, your coworkers, everybody.
The employees made friends with
their
clientele.
Clients. Like, and in your industry, like, you're not just going to let Joe Schmo wax you.
Right.
You trust the person performing the services on you. It's like getting your hair done. You're not going to go to some random person on the street to dye your hair blonde. You're going to go to the same person you've been going to for years.
Yeah.
Like, there was a trust built, and this company just shit on that, essentially.
Yeah. So we both lost our jobs from the same place. How does that make you feel? It's like I should have known, honestly, when you got...
It's a blessing in disguise.
It really is, because I feel like them closing was really the push that I needed to kind of focus on my own business here, which I should have been doing way long ago. I was really putting that place up on a pedestal.
You were.
And
you were doing way more than you needed to.
Yeah, I was letting that like overshadow my own business.
Gianna called me the day that they received notice that they were closing, and she was like, what the hell am I gonna do? And I was like, no, dude, like, this is a blessing. I was like, I literally made her come to my house. I was like, come to my house. We're going to make your business what it should have been from the start. I was like, this is going to be the best thing that could have ever happened to you. You're going to build up your clientele. Like, it's going to be everything you need it to be.
Do you know, I called my dad when I received the text message, because we got a text message that we got laid off. I called my dad. He was ecstatic for me. I was like, are you okay?
Because he saw it the way I saw it.
He was like, gee, this is like the best thing. He was like, this is like heaven sent. Like, this is what you need.
No, literally.
And like, the more I really started thinking about it, I was like, wait, yeah, this is like really what I needed.
We set up an email for all your clients. We sent out a discount code. Like, we were just...
We went to work.
We went to work. We got everything done that needed to be done to get people in the store and start booking their monthly and weekly appointments with you.
And honestly, like, the saying that timing is everything is so accurate, because this was right before Valentine's Day. And really, like, people need a wax for Valentine's Day. So I was like up that week. Like, I was busy every single day, but that also helped me bring in more clientele. Like, the first time I waxed somebody, they're like, oh, can I pre-book my next appointment? So it brought me in a lot of new clientele. So for it to happen, that timing was just really the best.
Absolutely.
The best
and I
timing.
feel like even when I got fired from this place, I was down in the dumps about it.
Yeah.
And then I had a second job at the time, so I wasn't like, I didn't need to find a new job.
But also in the moment, you're like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like, you really rely on your job to, like, provide, like, your income for you.
Because this was after I transferred, too, and I was paying for tuition out of pocket. So I was like...
Yeah, you're like, now what?
Great. Now I only have either spending money or money for tuition. I don't have I don't have both anymore. And I truly believe I was wrongfully terminated. I'm a good worker.
Yeah.
I've been working since the day I was 16. And I work hard at my jobs when I work there. So when it was time for me to apply to another job, it was a job I was so excited about. It was a job that, like, was perfect for what I wanted to do. Still being retail, but it was in the retail realm of stuff I was so passionate about and wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I did the interview and I got the job and I was so excited. And then shit hit the fan.
Of course, as it always does.
Of course. So at this job, when I applied, it wasn't even open yet. So they told me, I applied in April, got the job, wasn't starting until July. They had us start a month early, and they had us building the establishment.
Okay. So you're a construction labor worker
Apparently.
now?
We were putting together the store. It was all right. It was the middle of summer. It was so hot. Like, that's the only thing I can really complain about. It was
I remember
just
you
so
texting
hot.
me, like, I'm sweating through my shirt right now.
No, literally,
like,
because
what do I do?
we were behind a tarp with beauty lights on. So hot. And then the store finally opened, and it was good in the beginning. And then people kept quitting.
Dropping like flies.
And I was like...
First red flag.
What? Yeah, I was like...
Second,
what
actually.
is going on? No,
because the
real.
first one was building the place.
Management started to get a little snippy. They started to call me on my day off and be like, will you come in? I have 2 jobs. They would call me at my other job and be like, can you get here now? And I'm like, you know my schedule. You know I'm at another job. Stop calling me. And I worked at this establishment during the holiday season. If you know, working retail during the holiday season is torture. So this place, it's not in the nicest area. Like, I held my pepper spray in my hands when I walked out of there. Like, not very safe. They would have me working by myself with no security until midnight during the holiday season.
That's just in no way okay.
It's not okay for anybody to do.
Nobody.
You should not be in a factory-sized building by yourself. Ever.
By yourself, especially at night and especially during a holiday season where I'm sure it was, like, off the wall busy.
Yeah. That was one of the points where I was like, okay, this is not right. Like, I would, and I'm a full-time student, for those of you who don't know. I'm working till midnight and then having to do classes during the day. And then some nights they would have me work midnight, and then I'd have my other job at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was a mess.
And that right there shows, like, the lack of respect that employers have for their employees, because they know that, and they don't care. They're like, nope, this job comes first.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were a million, like, I could go on for days about the wrongdoings of the management at this place. But my final straw at this place, it might sound small to other people, but to me it was a big deal, because it was so many things building up to this that this was just like, nope, I'm done leaving. They had hired 4 employees for holiday help. When you're hired for holiday help, I'm under the impression you're there to work the holidays. So it was the week before Christmas, and the schedule for Christmas came out. And I was working with 3 out of the 4 holiday help employees. And we were talking about our schedule, as people do. Like, managers love to say, don't talk money, don't talk schedules, like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
Shut up. So we were talking about our schedules, and I was like, oh, I have to work Christmas Eve, closing Christmas Eve. I'm Italian. Christmas Eve is bigger than Christmas Day in my house.
Yes, 100%.
And I requested that if they needed help on Christmas Eve, to give me the morning shift. Nope, I was closing Christmas Eve. And I was talking to the holiday help employees. Not a single one of them was scheduled to work. My exact reaction was to go to my locker, gather my things, and walk out.
Yep, as you should.
I was so frustrated. I started to cry. I was just so angry. I was like, at this time, I was the longest standing employee, because everybody that got hired with me quit. Yep. I was the only one there from the beginning. They literally called me the OG because I was there. I built the store, essentially.
You are the store at that point.
No, literally.
You run this place.
Literally. I was done. I was out of there. The next day, I had the decency to call my boss. I wanted to talk out the situation with her. So I called her. I was like, I'm sure you've heard, I left last night. She didn't ask me what happened. She didn't ask me this or that. She goes, so you're quitting? I go, well, I was going to have a conversation with you about it, but based off your reaction, yeah, I won't be coming back. She said, well, why? And I started to explain. I literally said to her, I was like, there have been so many things happening that I can explain to you, but my final straw was the scheduling for this week, Christmas week. Mid-sentence, click, she hung up on me.
Unbelievable.
Hung up on me.
You're like, why did I waste my time working for this person? What a waste of time for her to just treat you like that at the end.
To give her every single night and every single weekend.
Like, you're supposed to be like the professional here.
And I don't even, like, when I got on the phone with her, I don't know if I was going to quit.
You wanted to see how
she responded.
Yeah.
And see if there was a way she could work with me and give me a morning shift instead of a closing shift on Christmas Eve, and like,
or acknowledge your feelings and somehow and be like, I'm sorry, like,
there's nothing else we can do.
Yeah.
Nobody else could work, like,
but we'll work on this in the future if you want to stay. Not just hang up in your face.
Hung up in my face mid-sentence.
The disrespect.
And it's funny because one of the girls that got hired after me is your client. She came in to see Gianna to get a service done, and she informed Gianna that she had also quit, and so did everybody else.
Yep. It all comes down to who's in charge over there.
It really is, because the business, the brand, is something I love. Something I still support, something I still shop from.
Yeah.
It was simply management. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Everything happens for a reason, because I quit that job. It was the week of Christmas. I applied for my current job. I called you one day. I was like, I got a job interview, girl. Let's get coffee. She was like, what? Because also my job interview was for a type of business I've never worked for. She was
I was like, what are you going to do there?
Yeah. I got the job. It's been heaven since. Like, I work 40 hours a week there, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, what?
The best part is she's Not too far from me.
I'm half a mile down the street.
No, really. Everything happens the way that it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. Everything. Just like in our last episode when we were talking about relationships. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter the topic you're talking about. Friendships, relationships, like jobs, anything, everything happens in the way that it's supposed to.
And like, I can't imagine how miserable I'd be if I still was at that job. And it's so crazy too, because like over the past 2 months, I don't know if I told you this, over the past 2 months, between getting my new job, my relationship is going fantastic. My friendships, like, they grow every single day. Bestie. I've had so many people come out of the woodwork and be like, you're thriving.
Yeah.
Like, you look so happy. People I went to college with, that their last memory of me is me being a little shell of a person filled with anxiety. They're like, what? Like, you're...
Like, what happened?
What happened? I've learned that, like, if I'm not happy at a job, I'm not staying there.
Yeah.
I don't live to work. Yeah. I work to live. Mm-hmm. Like, I work to pay for the things I want to do. I work to get my lashes done. I work to go on dates with my boyfriend. I work to fill up my gas and go see my friends. Like, work is not my life, and I never wanted to be my life. I just wanted to add to it.
Also, to kind of put into that, like, what I'm doing for work now is what I love to do. Mm-hmm. When I come in here, it doesn't feel like I'm going to work.
No, it feels
I'm just coming to hang out with my clients. Your clients become your friends. Like, make some money, listen to some music, have conversations, listen to everyone's life drama, and go home. It doesn't feel like work to me. Where working at these other places, I was, like, actually... Like the night before, I would be like, do I have to go tomorrow?
No,
like,
literally.
I was miserable.
Dreading it before it even
literally, like, the day before, if I had to go to work, I would be like, nah, I don't want to do anything today.
I have work tomorrow.
I just want to, like, dread tomorrow. No, it's not work.
That makes so much sense, because I used to be the type that, like, when I got home from work, I was done. Yeah. Like, work was so draining because I hated it so much that I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I'm staying home. I'm not doing anything. Yesterday I worked an 8-hour shift. It went like that because I have so much fun there. Yeah. And then I went to the brewery.
You enjoy what you're doing. It doesn't drain the life out of you.
I had a full night.
Yeah.
After working an 8-hour shift. And that used to never happen. Because literally I felt like a zombie after getting out of work when I was at a job I hated.
Yeah. Being like, working for myself too, like, I can just come and go as I please. I can just, whenever I want to work, if I want to shorten my hours one day, extend my hours another day, I have, like, the freedom to do that. And that's just the best thing. The best thing. I can choose not to work on the weekends if I don't want to. Yeah. But, like, the thing with working for yourself is when you go home, it kind of continues. Like, you have to schedule posts for your social media. You have to text clients. If someone, like, texts you for an appointment, you have to get them in. So it kind of never ends. But
it's okay.
It doesn't feel like I'm working. It's just, like, doing what I got to do. That's all.
And you know Gianna loves her work because we're sitting at her work right now filming this podcast, and, like, when I work at a place and I hate it, I never want to be there when I don't have to.
No, like, this is my little sanctuary.
Yeah, we love it here.
Like, look at it here. It's my little cave.
It's our little home. Like, when I worked retail, if my mom was like, oh, let's go to the store today. No. Like,
you
can come in when I'm working. I'm not going there when I don't need to be there. No. I know what we're saying could seem unrealistic and hard. Like, people work to make a living and to make money. It's not always realistic to do something you like to do. Yeah. But at our age, being 22, working, like, for me, my jobs are part-time. They're not full-time because I'm still a student. I have the luxury of being able to find a job I want to do. Yeah. And that's not always going to be the case in life. Like, when I graduate, I'm probably going to have to find a low-end job that's going to pay the bills. Yeah. But for the time being, I'm going to take advantage of finding a job that I'm passionate about doing and something that makes me happy because I can at the moment.
Same thing with me. Being 22, like, working for myself, I can go take a vacation if I want to, or I can go, like, schedule something and go do it whenever I feel like it. But then it's like, you don't have vacation time
Yeah.
or any income coming in that week. So there's pros and cons to literally everything.
Yeah.
And everyone has a different path that they go down, but ultimately you have to just make yourself happy. Like, do not like kill yourself for a job.
If you have the opportunity and the luxury to have a job that makes you happy, do it.
Do it.
If you're at a place that makes you absolutely miserable, and you can find something different, do it.
Yeah.
Even
Also, I feel like it's 2024. There are so many things that you can make money from. So many things. Social media. You can literally, like, you can make money. Really, there's endless ways, endless opportunities.
Yeah. And no matter what you choose you want to do, if you put in the work and put in the effort to be good at that and, like, show your passion for it, you're going to do well.
If something's your passion, go after it. Really. Don't let anything hold you back. I was like, is this the right time to go to esthetician school? Like, I won't be able to work, won't be able to make money. I'm, like, thanking God that I did it when I did, because now I have 2 years under my belt and I'm in my own business.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have a passion, just go.
Even with this podcast, we were so passionate about starting this podcast and everybody was like, what, are you planning on making money from that? We don't care.
Right. Literally.
Like, this was something we wanted to do that was going to be fun, a way for us to see each other every week, even if life was hectic. Like, you just have to do things that are going to be good for you and for your mental health and for your life. Like, you don't want to be miserable 24/7.
No. You gotta just live your life.
And everything always is going to happen for a reason, no matter what.
Always. And I have people sometimes who are like, I don't agree with that statement. I'm like, how could you not? How could you not? It's so accurate.
They haven't had the aha moment.
True.
So I think with that being said, so I'm Jess.
I'm Gianna.
And this has been
Thick Thighs
Save
Save
Lives.